is Klaus Cherosch. I'm a researcher at Agroscope in Switzerland, and I'm the coordinator of the Artemis project. Artemis is part of the EGP Soil program that aims to provide a scientific base for the sustainable management of agricultural land in Europe facing climate change. Within Artemis, we're having a specific look on how different agroecological practices are affecting soil properties that mitigate and abate climate change. We are doing this by a literature survey on the available data, by analyzing data from long-term field experiment with statistically and by running numerical models, and in direct interaction and contact with farmers and stakeholders to determine soil properties. Thereby, we want to identify how different agroecological practices, such as organic farming or conservative agriculture, affect soil properties and thereby mitigate and abate climate change.
Hello, I am Miriam Kizekova from Slovakia. I work at the National Agriculture and Food Center. I think that the Artemis project is very nice and very interesting project for all groups of stakeholders. For this, we want to share and to spread our new information, new findings from Artemis project to the farmers who can apply the new agroecological systems and methods. Also, policymakers are a very important group for us because they can support farmers, and of course to the all public, to young scientists, to young generation, as well as to all society to know that we are here.
My name is Elena Valkama. I'm working at Natural Resource Institute Finland, and I will tell you about meta-analysis. Meta-analysis is a statistical analysis of a large collection of experiments. Usually meta-analysis deal with variable effects, as usually in field. Sometimes you will get positive effect, sometimes you will get negative effect, sometimes neutral. So meta-analysis is such method which allows us to summarize all these conflicting results and get clear answer. For example, by using meta-analysis, we can clearly answer whether organic farming is better than conventional farming, and if it's better, how much it's better. So, because meta-analysis acknowledge quite a lot of pedoclimatic factors, different soils, so we can say in which pedoclimatic factors and which soils our management practices are better than in another practice. So in this way, meta-analysis can be applied for specific conditions and can be applied in practice for decision making as well.
Okay, good morning to everybody. I am Marco Acutis from University of Milano. My scientific work is about simulation model. Simulation models are like virtual reality, but with a very strong physical and biological basis. Using this model, we have the possibility to evaluate the new system for better agriculture, an agriculture that increase the amount of carbon in the soil, increase biodiversity, and so improve fertility and act really against the climate change. Models allows us to evaluate the different possibilities like conservation agriculture or organic farming to improve our yield, our soil health, and to contrast and mitigate climate change.
My name is Ángeles Prieto Fernández. I come from a research center belonging to the CSIC. It's the Misión Biológica de Galicia in the institute in Santiago de Compostela. And we work in the soil science department, mainly on biochemistry and microbiology of soils. Within the Artemis, we will participate in Work Package 5, and our main contribution will be a network of farms. In our case, we are located in the Lusitanian Environmental Zone, so we are in contact with 3 different farms working with organic agriculture dedicated to maize, to vineyards, and to vegetables, the production of vegetables. And we think this is the first contribution we can do to the Artemis project within the Work Package 5.
Well, I am Ioanna Panagea. I am a soils researcher at ILVO, the Flemish Research Institute for Agriculture, Fisheries and Food in Belgium. And within Work Package 5 of the Artemis project, we want to monitor soil-related ecosystem services in different agroecological farms in Europe, which are covering different pedoclimatic conditions in a network of farms in Europe.
So I'm Florian Walder. I'm working at Agroscope, which is the competence center for agricultural research of Switzerland. I'm heading there the research group Soil Quality and Soil Use. So in Artemis, I'm together with Fiona working on the Work Package 5. So in Work Package 5, we intend to develop a network of lighthouse farms with are incorporating agroecological principles, and we want to have farms which are pioneers in applying these practices, so farmers with a lot of experience in that, but also living labs where stakeholders, farmers and researchers interact together and try to make these implementations successful.
Okay, so I think Elena already established what meta-analysis is, and I would like to go a bit more into depth on that. So meta-analysis is not a new method, it actually is quite old already. So was established in medicine in the beginning of the 20th century, and since then traveled to social sciences and also environmental sciences. And we can see an increase in the use of this tool in agricultural and soil sciences in the last 10 years only. And this is also the reason why we can see that the meta-analyses that are published usually don't fulfill the actual statistical criteria. So not every meta-analysis that you're reading in our field can actually be trusted. We therefore established a couple of criteria, actually it's 17, which are supposed to help soil agricultural sciences and also policymakers to read through meta-analysis and see if they're actually statistically sound. So what we want to encourage you and everybody else that kind of wants to work with meta-analysis is to make sure that what you're doing and the meta-analysis you're reading actually fulfill the quality criteria that they're supposed to, so you can trust the results.
Hello, my name is Claudia Di Bene. I am a researcher at CREA, Research Center for Agriculture and Environment in Rome, Italy. Together with Klaus Jarosz from Agroscope, I co-coordinated the Artemis project. Artemis project involves 12 different partners from 7 European countries: Italy, Spain, Slovakia, Austria, Switzerland, Belgium and Finland, covering 9 different agro-environmental zones, from Mediterranean South to boreal climate. Artemis project adopted a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary approaches in order to evaluate the effect of different agroecological practices useful for climate change mitigation and adaptation. In particular, we are going to analyze the effect of these practices in terms of crop yield stability and quality, soil organic carbon sequestration, nitrogen dynamics, water storage and ecosystem services. The approach is based on long-term field experiment, modeling meta-analysis and lighthouse farm network. Regarding long-term field experiment, we set up a gradient of a long-term field experiment across different agro-environmental zones. Long-term field experiments are important research infrastructure that allow to analyze in the long term the effect of different soil management practices in terms of crop productivity and soil property evolution in space and time. In Artemis project we selected a set of long-term experiment, a gradient of long-term experiment from conventional system to organic system based on cereals based system to vegetable crops.